we're going to talk about the little universe one as well. Because I will have absolutely no other chance to talk about Beachcomber probably ever again besides this video. Well, that statement didn't really age well now, did it? I didn't expect them to make a new deluxe one, okay? I didn't expect them to make a new Beachcomber, but they did. And it is great. It is seriously one of my favorite deluxe class figures that I've gotten in a long time. Now, granted, yes, I'm very biased. I love Beachcomber. He's one of my weird, wacky favorite Autobots. And I have a lot of his toys. So I figured I would turn this into like a Beachcomber collection video, since I did already do an old versus new for Beachcomber with the Power of the Primes one and the G1 and the little Legends class. And yeah, hey, I just threw in this KRE-O one I also have because I didn't talk about it in that video. And I really want to talk about the new one. I really do. I don't have every Beachcomber toy ever. I want more of them. I think they did a repaint of Energon Cliffjumper into Beachcomber that works perfectly, and I really want that one. There's also a Revenge of the Fallen Scout class style Beachcomber, which also works perfectly, and I really want that one. But for now, these are my Beachcombers, and they're great. They're great. I love Beachcomber. He's one of my boys, man. He's just a cool little pacifist boy that he loves nature, and he's blue, and he's a little dune buggy, and I like that. All right, let's just get into it. So I have already talked about the three in the front in my old versus new for Beachcomber, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with them. But here's G1 Beachcomber. I really love G1 Beachcomber. I did mention in my old video how it's kind of odd that he doesn't have any metal in him, really, for being a G1. He's very plasticky, but still, you know, he's just a little mini-bot. He's a very nice little mini-bot. I love his faceplate for the G1 toy, and he's got a lot of the original stickers. He's still got the rub sign. I don't remember if this still works or not. I don't think so. I'll give it a little go. No, I don't really think that's working anymore. But yeah, his articulation, you can move his head a little bit. You can move his shoulders, his knees, I guess, for transformation. He's just a cute little guy. Come on, come on. Yeah, I mean, he's got real rubber tires, which we will get back to that. Yeah, he's just nice. And his transformation, so fun, so easy. It's so great. It's pretty much just, boom, you're done. You're done. It's so adorable. I love it. This guy is so great, and I feel like a lot of the other Beachcomber toys have translated this design so well, especially the new one. I love how the new one pulls it off. Let's take a break from the ones I've already talked about to just have a brief discussion about my little KRE-O one. Yeah, this is a little KRE-O Beachcomber, and I love him, and he is great. His face is perfect, his printing is perfect. I don't have a lot of KRE-Ons anymore, I got rid of a lot of them, but Beachcomber's one I had to keep. He has a very ingenious reuse of one of the Constructicon heads. I actually think that works perfectly for Beachcomber, and one of the reasons why I had to hold on to this KRE-On. I think that helmet works perfectly for him. His transformation, I'm not really going to do it, but essentially what these KRE-Ons did, they just kind of laid flat and you added a few parts to them. I got all those extra pieces in a baggie somewhere. I don't care about that. I just like the little kind of minifigure style. And I like this. I like this little guy. It's Beachcomber. He's one of my favorites. I had to have him. And then let's go over this little Legends class guy. Actually, he made a little cameo appearance in my Transformers Graveyard video because I had forgotten that I had this guy and I broke it. And I actually reacquired it because I liked it that much. I wasn't going to just have a broken one. The hip broke on my first one, and I got a second one. I don't remember when that happened, but I remember it happening. After I kind of thought about it, I'm like, I think I remember that happening. But yeah, it's just a cool little Legends class guy. I think this was released, geez, I think maybe 2009-ish, maybe Universe. I think this might have been a Universe Legends class. Not exactly sure, but I would say probably out of all the transforming Beachcombers in this video, this is probably the worst one. It's still pretty okay though. I really do appreciate the difference in the buggy mode. It does have this sliding gimmick, which we'll actually get back to that. It's kind of cool how a lot of these little features all kind of come together with the newest one. But we just kind of fold his legs in, and then we put his arms around his legs, and then boom, he's a different little kind of buggy, and I actually really appreciate the difference. I kind of think the reinvented alt mode is very nice. Yeah, this little Beachcomber. I like him. I like him. All right, and then the last one that I've already discussed, the Power of the Primes Beachcomber. This one's great. I honestly never thought we would see an update but I'm happy we have, because I think the new one is superb. I really do appreciate how they're going back and doing the mini bots as like smaller deluxes. I think that size just works better in a larger collection. But I do also like the era of getting these Legends class, the bigger Legends class for little mini bots. And I really do like this Beachcomber still. His articulation's really nice. He's got a lot of ball joints. He's very ball joint heavy, but that was very typical of the time for these Legends class figures. It wasn't really until Siege where they kind of wanted to go away from ball joints and just have universal joints for higher quality. Yeah, very accurate to the character. Very nicely done. A lot of molded detail. His torso is very large, but that's kind of to accommodate a gimmick that a lot of these figures have. Let's transform him. I think his transformation, yeah, he also does the slidey thing. And the gimmick that he has enough space to actually hold a little Titan's Return Titan Master style figure, which I think is pretty nice. So yeah, his transformation is very simplistic. I'm almost done with it, actually. And I think we just connect that, right? Isn't that pretty much it? Just connect all those together? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's Beachcomber. I really do like how this one, all of these have something different to offer, man. And I love how this one can actually house a little Titan Master dude. I really like that. Let me actually grab one. Yoink. Who did this come with? I think didn't this come with like one of the weird like monster bots or something? It's the Scorponok that's like die cast. He's one of the few ones I just kind of keep chilling out on a shelf. Let's see if we can get him in there. Little Zerax gonna ride in the Beachcomber. All right, get his little arms up, his little armies. I just thought of the Headmaster's dub. This guy said some funny things in the Headmaster's dub. I'll just leave it at that. If you know, you know. All right. So, there we go. Little guy riding inside Beachcomber. That's adorable. I love that. That's really great. All right. So, with those older Beachcombers out of the way, let me talk about the new one. And this one I'm going to talk about a little more in-depth. Again, if you want to see a little bit more in-depth detail of the older ones, check out my old versus new video I did on, when this guy was a little newer. All right. So, first things first, he comes with a bird. Can you see that? He's got a little bird. And the little bird has these little bird eyes. Well, there's a hair. He's got these little bird eyes and this little beak. He's really nicely detailed for how tiny he is. He looks really, really nice. And he can go into several different spots on him. Do be careful, though, because I've noticed that there's definitely a very thin weak point between the bird and the port. So make sure you don't rip the bird off the port. Yeah, you can put the bird on the arm. You can put the bird in the hand. You can put the bird on the shoulder, little shoulder bird. It's just a little paradise parrot. I love it. It's so adorable. Oh, man. That is such a great inclusion for this guy. And it was the biggest selling point for me. Now, granted, they didn't have to sell me on a new Beachcomber, because it's a Beachcomber. I was going to buy it anyway. But it's just so cute. It's such an extra little bonus they didn't have to do, and I really, really appreciate it. That is just so nice. I really like that. I just genuinely really like that. Alright, so the figure itself, great. So nicely made. The quality of how he moves and how he feels is sublime. Absolutely sublime. He doesn't have a lot of hollow parts. He does have this little hole in his thigh, which, funny enough, it's so crazy to me how Transformers fans are so bothered by hollow parts. They will buy an upgrade kit just to fill that little hollow spot on his knee right there. And right there on that part. Like, how much of a deal is that to you? I guess for some people, they see hollow pieces and it drives them up the wall. But for me, it's just a part of being a Transformers collector. Transformers have hollow pieces. They've had them since the beginning. This isn't anything new. Like, look, here's the G1 guy. Here's the G1 guy. Hollowness has existed since the beginning. These are toys, people. Don't be stressing about little hollow pieces here and there. It's how it works, man. It's how it works. All right, a little rain out of the way. He feels so great. Going back to the rubber tires of the G1, because this guy is smaller than your average deluxe, they did actually add rubber tires. He's got rubber tires. Isn't that great? And they feel so great, and this guy rolls like a dream, man. I'll show you. He just feels so quality. Like, he is smaller, yeah. He is a smaller deluxe. but he feels it. He really feels like a deluxe, and I really appreciate that. I do want to make a size comparison to one of my favorite deluxes that they've put out recently. He's kind of a smaller one as well, but man, the Origin, like, Bumblebee Jazz, this is one of my favorites. I might need to make a video on this guy because I really do enjoy it. I just can't stop playing with it. But this Beachcomber is a very similar story. This guy's likely going to be on my top 10 Transformers of the year. He's so nicely made. Just look at him. His articulation, he's got a ball joint at the head. One of the last places where modern figures have ball joints. Unless it's Studio Series, sometimes they still have ball joints. He's got ball hinges, or he's got hinge and swivel at the shoulder. He's got a swivel at the bicep there. Nice elbow. He does have a swivel at the wrist, even though it is largely blocked in with his armor. He does have a swivel at the waist, which I really appreciate. Just got to be careful not to have things clash, because things are going to start moving on you. He's got nice hips. He's got nice thigh. He's got a nice knee bend. He's got ankle tilt. He's just so perfect. He's so perfect in every way. I love him. His gun is also kind of like the bumper for the buggy, which I appreciate. And, yeah, you can have it on his arm. I don't think you can have it on his back, can you? I don't think so. You can have it on his shoulders. You can put it on, like, the back of his shoulders, but not really on his back. Yeah, some of these modern figures, they still, you know, they try to have, like, the armor-up gimmick. Like, you can see if you fold this down, he has a port now. So you could put, you know, things on the bottom of his foot if you do that. You know, they still try to have hard points on the arms and on certain parts, but for some of these figures, it's kind of difficult. Now, granted, this gun, some people may say, oh, he's a pacifist, he shouldn't have a gun. Oftentimes, Beachcomber doesn't. He did on this little guy. He's got a little gun up there. But this gun is entirely optional in both modes. Entirely optional. Me, personally, I kind of don't mind him having a gun because he's a pacifist, but man, he's got to protect the little birdie. He's got to protect the bird. So I appreciate the inclusion, but it's not necessary in either mode, and I'll show you why. All right, so let's transform him. This guy's great, but his transformation is silky smooth and honestly very, very satisfying. So similar to the Little Legends versions, both Legends ones, he does have a slide, which is kind of unusual for modern figures. And you tab the arms together. We're going to flip that up, and then the legs. We're going to flip the seats out and the guards. He does have covers. This is something I appreciate. They didn't have to do this, but they did include covers. They do cover some hollowness. I do appreciate that. But not every little thing has to be covered, you know, at least not to me. It gets excessive after a while, you know. After a while, it's just like, why are we doing this? Why are we buying $10 upgrade kits just to fill holes that, you know, only you're noticing? Yeah, I can get it, though. Sometimes it's really bad. And sometimes the little upgrade kit does help, because it comes with other stuff, too, that helps it out. I just don't think this figure's one of them. I don't think this is a figure to worry about that with. You can peg in the arm to the leg. I think I did this a little out of order, but we can still figure it out. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I think the arm should have been plugged in first. Yeah, let's fold the legs back. Plug the arms back in. And then we'll give it another go. Alright. So then... I've never had this much trouble transforming this guy. It's probably just because I'm on camera and, you know, life hates me. Alright. Come on. Come on. There we go. We got you. We got you. And then we'll get... Oh, no! Why are we doing this? Come on, man. Come on. Why are we being so finicky? Why are we being so finicky? There we go. This guy is normally not this finicky. It just hates me, that's why. He just hates me. But we're almost there. We're almost there. There we go. Kind of plug the feet in. And there we go. There we go. Here is Beachcomber in his little buggy mode. And this is very successful. I love the grading right there where people can step on the side. It looks very nice. It looks very nice. Now, one thing that some people may point out, oh, look at the empty spot in the front. You know, that looks so ugly. Yeah, it does look ugly. That's why Hasbro invented this whole gun bumper thing that you can put in the front if it doesn't fall out. You can put this in the front and it fills that out. And it's not necessary because the G1 doesn't have it. This one doesn't have it, but it's also a different design, but you can see very similar. And the Power of the Primes didn't have it. He doesn't have a bumper like that. That's just the design. He doesn't have it. But they decided for those that it might bother that they would include like this bumper gun. And I think that works out really nice. You know, it's just a nice inclusion. It's not necessary at all. You can leave that off if you want him a little more G1 faithful. Now, granted, he is going to have the exact same issue where you can see the joints for the knees. And now you'll see a little port where that plugs in, which does make it a little uglier, I'm not going to lie. But still, it's a nice inclusion. It's a nice inclusion that they did put that there. And we can put the birdie back on the buggy. I like putting the birdie back there on the back of his robot mode shoulder. Just kind of plug him in. There we go. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Beachcomber's my boy. This new one. And again, like I said, it rolls like a dream. Because he's got nice pinned wheels. And those pinned wheels mixed with the rubber tires. Yeah, he's rolling great. Alright, guys. There is my collection of Beachcombers. He is one of my favorites. He's one of my niche little favorites. I need to remember to take Zarak out of there. He's just so cool, man. Something about him. It's probably just because he's a blue buggy, and I've always been a sucker for buggies, and his character is just fun. Alright, there we go. Let me know what you think about my Beachcombers down in the comments below. Should I get that Energon one? Should I get that Revenge of the Fallen Scout one? I think I probably should. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.